Another standing room only event. And when I woke up this morning at 7, I was getting picked up at 7:45. Patrick, my fiance, tried to pull me by my waist over this morning in bed. And I was like, no, baby, we don't got time for that this morning. I got to get to the prayer breakfast and I got to be on time. And a little TMI, but he can wait. I'll see him later tonight. But I was here early.
South Carolina MAGA Congresswoman Nancy Mace is not known for being subtle, whether that be when she's joking about her love life to a prayer breakfast audience or her shameless support of Donald Trump.
She went to New York and stood in front of the magnificent Trump Tower. Has anyone ever heard of Trump Tower? And did a commercial insinuating that I was endorsing her. She's standing we're in front of Trump Tower in New York. I'm saying, can you believe this?
Hey everyone, Congresswoman Nancy Mace here. I'm in front of Trump Tower today. And I remember in 2015 when President Trump announced his run. I was one of his earliest supporters. I actually worked for the campaign in 2016. I worked in 7 different states across the country to help get him elected. I supported him again in 2020 because of policies I believed in.
It was untruthful, just like everything else she does. Thankfully, this June, you have the chance to dump these grandstanding losers.
Can you explain the A on your shirt and why you wore it?
I'm wearing the scarlet letter after the week that I just had last week, being a woman up here and being demonized for my vote and for my voice. I'm here to let the rest of the world know and the country know I'm on the side of the people. I'm not on the side of the establishment, and I'm going to do the right thing every single time, no matter the consequences, because I don't answer to anybody in D.C. I don't answer to anyone in Washington. I only answer to the people.
Political stunts like her pilgrimage to Trump Tower ahead of the midterm elections and wearing the scarlet letter after ousting Kevin McCarthy from the speakership are key parts of her campaign strategy and the image she's crafting of herself in Washington. And congressional hearings give her the perfect opportunities to spew whatever form of bigotry she's most interested in at the time.
Who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if
the ladies recognize...
If the gentlelady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on. Order.
Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Could you keep interrupting me?
I'll interrupt the chairman.
I
don't know that he's a lady.
I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies equally to everyone, no matter what your last
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
It doesn't matter who you are. The Biden administration and their, quote, gender Taliban can't even define what it means to be a woman. They are erasing what it means to be women and endangering women and girls in the process. The Biden administration's Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in April of this year updated guidance on what constitutes sex-based discrimination. Under the Biden administration's guidance, use someone's biologically correct pronouns or their legal name. Guess what? It's workplace discrimination. Acknowledging someone identifies as a different gender without their permission, workplace discrimination. Insist that biological men use the bathroom or locker room designated for biological men and not terrorize women and girls in the girls' bathroom. Workplace discrimination. Where did we lose our way? This is absurd. I tell my kids, when you come home from school with pronouns, you don't come home from school with pronouns, you come home with A's and B's. I don't want to know your pronouns. I don't care about your pronouns. That is not what we should be talking about in school. We should be talking about A's and B's, math, writing, and arithmetic. This guidance by the Biden administration infringes on the First Amendment rights of American workers, threatens the safety of women and girls, and serves to further erase and erode what it means to be a woman. Which leads me to my first question, Ms. Wiley. Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was a child...
No, you're not going to tell me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Yeah, it is story time, because when I was a child, I was
No, it's not. I'm going to reclaim my
boy.
time. Be quiet. I'm going to reclaim my time right now. Biological women are real women. A guy born as a man who wants to pretend to be a woman and put him and his big Jim and the twins in the locker room with underage girls, or his little Jim and twins, by the way, is disgusting. Biden and Kamala inherit a world at peace and turned it into a world at war. Our allies are under attack, our adversaries emboldened, and America embarrassed on the world stage. In fact, even being forced to evacuate 7 embassies during this administration. Biden and Kamala inherit a country with the most secure border in our nation's history. They flung our borders wide open to the largest invasion of illegal aliens our country has ever seen. The illegal aliens Biden and Kamala have led into our country have gone on to rape and murder American citizens, including our women and girls, including 158 Democrats who voted against deporting illegals who are here, murdering, raping, and who are also pedophiles, harming our women and girls. Biden and Kamala can't even tell us the difference between a woman and a mentally ill man in a dress.
Just like everyone else in the MAGA world, Nancy Mace thrives off talking points and culture war issues rooted in her deeply bigoted, narrow worldview. Additionally, Mace, she subscribes to the Republican Party obstructionist attitude, being one of 82 Republicans voting against funding the federal government and pushing for a shutdown just before this happened.
Good morning, everyone. We've had gusts of wind upwards of about 65 miles per hour during the storm so far. I'm on Daniel Island. As you can see, I've got the Wando Bridge behind me. If you don't have to go outside, if you don't have to be on the road today, please stay home if you can. So this is no joke. If you can stay inside, please do. We have about 90,000 residents who've lost power so far today. You can keep up with road closures through SCDOT and also South Carolina's Emergency Management Division. We also have a page on our website for resources if you've incurred damage or need help from FEMA, etc. We'll be touring the district all day today, assessing damage. We have lost 15 residents of South Carolina statewide. A big tragedy, obviously, there. Those lives those families are irrevocably changed forever. And so our prayers are with those families today. And for their safety, for the safety of our first responders.
Mace posted both of those videos we just saw to her personal Twitter account just 2 days before sending out this completely tone-deaf post, as hundreds of thousands of people, both in and out of her state, are suffering one of, if not the most traumatic experience of their lives. And to add insult to injury, her office botched the release of her cookie cutter official response to the devastating hurricane because they included her statement on a bill that would criminally punish doctors and restrict federal funding for gender-affirming care for minors. It's very clear Nancy Mace's legislative priorities are so backwards, but that's on brand for so many Republicans, let alone MAGA Republicans. You're worried about a marginal issue, okay? Instead of focusing on people affected severely by Hurricane Helene. Like, why are you talking about it? You're focused on gender-affirming care, right? And restrict that funding as opposed to funding FEMA and making sure there are federal programs that are going to benefit the people who have been impacted negatively by Hurricane Helene. Do you care about your citizens? Do you care about your constituents or not? It's really that simple. But for a lot of these Republicans, the way they govern shows the lack of care and compassion for people who need the help the most. Because again, as long as the Congress women and men are doing fine and they're getting their salary, all that, they're not worried about the common man or the common woman. It's all about obstructing justice and obstructing the federal government to push things back, to make it more difficult for us to live in a more harmonious society, right? A society that actually wants to help individuals in need. So much to say, but that'll be for another day. For Rebel HQ, I'm Chris Williamson. We'll see you next time.